Hello everyone, and welcome to another Breath of the Wild 2 update. This time, it's a bit weird. Our first official piece of information of 2021 from Nintendo is just them restating what they've already told us, and is something we already knew from simply watching the trailer. We'll cover it, then go over some actual interesting details that they also gave us a long time ago. The full quote from the Nintendo marketing pamphlet: "Finally, Link and Zelda return in the eagerly awaited successor to unforgettable action-adventure, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, with series producer 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐿 promising a darker adventure this time. Deep within the caverns beneath Hyrule Castle, a new and powerful threat awakens. Can our courageous heroes save the kingdom again?" A lot of websites are reporting new details or new information has been revealed by Nintendo. No, they haven't reported or announced anything new. This is just a recap of what we knew from day one. The more interesting news, it is still meant to be darker than any other Zelda games. And the developers took a lot of influence from Red Dead Redemption. How that works, I have no idea. But it's similar to how 𝐈𝐬𝐿 stated he and others took a lot of inspiration from Skyrim when working on Breath of the Wild. Most people look at Majora's Mask or Twilight Princess as some of the darkest, but Nintendo wasn't actually trying to make them have a dark story. In fact, in an interview with some of the developers of Majora's Mask, they mentioned they actually tried to make some areas even more lighthearted and fun, and even went out of their way to make sure it wasn't too dark. With Twilight Princess, it came about as a product of them wanting to make a more realistic game that was distinctly different from Wind Waker, which fans felt was more aimed towards children. So now with them purposefully trying to make a darker Zelda game, think about this. Can you get much darker than Ocarina of Time? No one really thinks about it, but in the adult timeline, Hyrule Castle is destroyed and overran by the undead. Most, if not all, the Zora and their entire home is frozen. The god they worship, Jabu Jabu, is gone. All the Gorons are locked in prison and just waiting to be fed to a dragon. The Kokiri have their entire forest infested with evil. The deity they worship also happens to be dead. Kakariko Village is literally on fire at one point. And we find out it's secretly the home of a hidden torture chamber for prisoners. We see a soldier die in an abandoned alleyway while we talk to them, and the carpenter's son dies or is turned into a skull kid in the middle of a side quest. Lake Hylia is almost dried up. So much is going on, it's a bit insane. Breath of the Wild and other games obviously have their own tragedies, but comment below and let us know how you think they will make Breath of the Wild 2 the darkest Zelda game. Personally, I think it would have to have an important character dying, similar to Majora's Mask with the Deku Butler's son and others we come across and have to help. How would that work though? Could it be Sidon, Yunobo, or even Zelda? Link officially died and was resurrected thanks to the Shrine of Resurrection, so death isn't actually that big of a deal. Even if the shrine is destroyed, the Triforce is always an option. So again, comment below and let's all have a conversation about how you think it's going to be, what they are calling the darkest Zelda game.